Today I'm going to discuss the dangers of cognitive bias in data visualization. One of my early memories is my mom locking the doors of our station wagon while driving on Dixwell Ave in New Haven. I'm not proud of this memory, but it encapsulates two heuristics: representativeness and availability. See, this was the neoconservative 1980s, when Reagan's war on drugs resulted in increased policing in Black communities and a rise in news reports about the rampant crime in the inner city. The study of heuristics, or the strategies we use to make decisions, was developed in the 1970s by psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. Their paper, titled Judgment Under Uncertainty, focused on representativeness, availability, and anchoring. Representativeness involves estimating the likelihood of an event by comparing it to an experience or understanding that we already possess, and it often leads people to overestimate the similarity between the two things that they are comparing. The availability heuristic operates on the notion that if something can be recalled, it must be important. Tversky and Kahneman assert that the number of examples recalled from memory is used to infer the frequency in which the instance occurs. Finally, the anchoring heuristic suggests that people tend to rely on the first piece of information they learn, which can have a serious impact on the decision they end up making. I think we've all bought some crap from Kohl's because it was supposedly on sale. Heuristics guide our decision-making, but can also lead to cognitive biases. These biases can affect how a designer presents data visualization on a certain topic. Confirmation bias is one of the most common that can affect data visualization. Confirmation bias is the tendency to favor information that confirms a person's existing beliefs or values. It happens when people select information that supports what they already believe and ignore contrary information, or when they interpret ambiguous evidence to support their views. Data visualization allows people to understand huge amounts of data quickly. Agency EA reports that 90% of information transmitted to the brain is visual, and that visuals are processed 60,000 times faster in the brain than text. It's no wonder that data visualization plays such an important role in boiling down the huge amount of data being collected in our world and transformed into understandable, usable, shareable bytes. Many articles written about the effects of cognitive biases on data visualization circle around researchers and their method for data collection and interpretation, and less about how biases can affect content designers. Although the data is often already synthesized by the time it reaches a designer, it's their job to create compelling visual story, and therefore there's plenty of room for bias to creep into the design. Wikipedia, which seems to have the most exhaustive list, notes 104 cognitive biases grouped into four main categories: too much information, not enough meaning, need to act fast, and what should we remember. With this huge swath of biases, it's impossible to believe that some may not shape both our storytelling and how those viewing our visualizations will receive those stories. Whether we overvalue our own beliefs, false consensus effect, are inclined to adjust the facts to make for a better story, framing bias, feel more moved by the story of one person than statistics about many, identifiable victim bias, or exhibit any other number of biases in our work lives, we must remain vigilant. To create compelling, honest data visualizations, think about these three questions while planning and executing your project. Is my purpose well defined? The purpose will dictate your deliverable. Does the content support the purpose? The content is a relationship between the data and reality. Does the structure reveal the content? Choosing the correct structure for your visualization will create clarity between the data and the graphic. Heuristics are psychological systems that help us decode the world around us, whether the information they provide is true or not. Heuristics play a similar role within our own minds as data visualization plays in our world, decoding information into easily understandable bytes. Avoiding cognitive biases while creating visuals can help readers understand information and make decisions without jumping to harmful conclusions. As content creators, it is our ethical mandate to curb the spread of misinformation, especially through the news and social media. That begins with being cognizant of our own biases and understanding our reasons for creating the content.